Sooner or later, sooner or later, sooner or later, sooner or later. Look at us. Look at us. What's up, people? What's up, people? Look at us. 1 year in the books. We have a special guest. We're all vibing tonight.
Oh,
You
yeah.
with us. Who are we? We are the Ringside Club. What's up, folks? How y'all feeling tonight, man?
Feeling
Day
good.
one.
Feeling great.
1 year in the
1 year
books.
in.
So check
Yes,
this out.
congrats, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you.
For being here. We're gonna properly introduce you as soon as we get the survey out of the way. But for everybody tapping in, YouTube, we're live. Twitter, we're live. Peace to y'all, of course. Thank y'all for hanging out with us tonight. We're chilling. So, like we usually do around this time, this is the show before the show, otherwise known as survey time. And the question that's gonna go around the ring today: yes or no? Does LA Knight, the most over man in WWE right now, LA Knight, does he win a title? Does he win a title before we hit 2024? I'm gonna say nah. I think they fumble it. Right.
You know what? I'm going to say nah, too. Unfortunately.
And I'm going to say, fuck both of y'all. I'm going to say, yeah.
Lori.
I'm saying yes just to be positive because I don't even know, but I'm saying yes. I'm going to
Respect. Big respect.
Nah.
What you got? All right.
Nah.
Nah.
Damn.
And best of luck for your future endeavors, Mr. LA Knight. And of
Yo,
course,
chill,
best of
chill,
luck
chill.
to us. Nah. Future endeavors meaning title opportunities, bro. He's
All right,
he's
all
more
right,
than
all right,
secure.
all right.
Chill out. We ain't
He's more
doing
than
all
secure.
that. We ain't
Right
firing
there,
nobody.
hey, yo.
It's going to be good next year, man. It's going to be good next year.
Yeah, he's more than secure. But you already know what time it is. Let's start the show.
Peace to the gods, the ringside club hard. My name is A.O. Say you're the Ron the Don. Blame Boogie while you at it, blame Chad Law. K-Fabe is dead, break the fourth wall. Whatever style, whether it's lucha or strong style. Come through the beam, we fly, burn the bar down. Back to the pad, chop it up for the par. Ringside club, intro to the squad as the show starts.
Peace to the gods, and of course, peace to the earths. You are now tuned in. We're broadcasting from the Empire Tri-State like we usually do every Thursday night, 9:05 live. Actually, 9:05 live
Shit,
tonight.
starting
Peace to
on
us for
time
being on
tonight.
time. It's my favorite podcast, and of course, soon to be yours. 1 year later, it's the mightiest of the mighty, the RSC, the Ringside Club. Now, we're going to get into some introductions. First of all, once again, this is the 1 year anniversary, so appreciate everybody that's been subscribing, that's been sharing, that's been listening, talking about us, talking to us. We're here to talk about pro wrestling, man, WWE, AEW, things of that nature. But let's go around and make sure everybody that's watching and everybody that's tuned in knows exactly who they're tuned in to. First and foremost, you can hit theringsideclub.com. All of the information is there. All of the past episodes are there. YouTube. That's where you're watching right now, if you're not watching on Twitter, of course. On air, but on demand, you can catch us on YouTube for the video, the audio, or Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all other podcast platforms. Plus, once again, across all social media. That's TikTok, that's Threads, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, whatever. If you have a platform, we're probably there. Come chill with us. Now, as far as me, myself, and Irene, I happen to be the reigning and defending Ringside Club pay-per-view predictions champion of the world, Craig. But we ain't defending tonight. We're celebrating tonight. I got an empty bottle over there, and I will refill just a bit. But, of course, my name, 2 letters, so you need to know. The mightiest of the mighty, A.O.
Oh, turn that up. Turn that up. Let them know. Let them know.
You know the champ is here.
All right.
Just pass it to my mans and them.
Hey, who are you? Let me introduce you to the other Don. Don.
Shit, you already know. It's Ron the Don, a.k.a. the 5 foot of hot chocolate, because it is steaming out here right now.
Damn.
So, listen, you already know what it is. We want you to salute to you. Salute to the bedroom. Cop the shirts. We got new shirts, new PMF shirts. We got the coffee. We got all that. Let's keep it moving. Quail Book, What's good?
Look what you did.
What's good with y'all? It's your unfriendly neighborhood no man, Blame Boogie. You know, just making it happen. It's another day out here, ladies and gentlemen.
Blame Boogie? There's something really fucking wrong with that guy.
Chad, what you got, bro?
Hit my shit, ayo.
I got you.
It is one CL Young Adaba himself. Outlandish activity will be detected all over this episode tonight. Make sure y'all go grab that merchandise. IreallySeenIt.com. Ringside Club merchandise. Y'all see that? Pardon my fresh. Lauriana May here with us. It's a real live night. I got green tea and tequila here in the cup in the mason jar. You know what I'm saying?
Let's make sure Ayo gotta edit the shit out of this episode. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
He's probably gonna have to.
Let's keep it smooth.
It's all
tonight.
good. We ain't gonna get too crazy.
I don't know if it's gonna be smooth tonight, bro.
Let's keep it smooth.
Pause. It's all right. One band, one sound.
We have a special guest in the building. One band, one sound.
One band, one sound.
Tonight, y'all.
One band, one sound.
A top 5 coolest human being in the history of Earth. Top 3 from Jersey. One of the most amazing vocalists I've ever heard. And just a homie. We have Lauriana May in the building. What's up, Lauriana?
I love that intro. Thank you. I was like, is he talking about me? Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, we
Talking about you.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, we
you aren't
appreciate you hanging out with us, man.
You aren't our first guest particularly yet. It's not really the first guest, but it's the first musical guest that we've had.
Yeah, non-wrestling specific.
Non-wrestling specific.
Honestly, like, yeah, I'll probably be your guest that knows the least about wrestling, but like, I'm like super happy to be here and like just supporting you guys, and like I'm happy to see that this whole thing is even happening. I just found out about it, so I'm still psyched for you guys, even though it's 1 year in.
You know what it is too? Like how some special shows have their like performances. You know what I'm saying? This is our like version of the performance section of our 1 year show. It's like, yo, we got the dopest vocalist that you could possibly hear with a new single out right now on the Ringside Club. You know what I'm saying?
We're definitely gonna run that LMK in just a bit. But like, yeah, we talked about a couple episodes ago, and then we talked about just before we went live. But honestly, part of the reason why this podcast is a podcast is because Chad and I met many moons ago at a Lauriana May video shoot, Protect Your Neck, the remix with Raekwon somewhere in Jersey, and we've been rocking ever since. So you're like the honorary 5th member of the Ringside Club.
That's right. Thank you. Yeah, like
you've been locked. You've been locked in.
And I have so much to learn from you guys now too, like honestly. So I'm excited that you guys are even doing this. Like now I'll probably see you more, like more wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
Yo, Lauriana, you remember the episode when you first came through to my radio station at Westbury, and Killer Touch was there? Like, when I was looking back at the stats of that post, and like that was one of the biggest posts of like that whole year was like when you came through. Like, just because we actually like had the clip of like the record of Protect Your Neck playing, and it's like people were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was fire. I remember that day.
You know what I mean? That was great. Great introduction.
You know I love you guys because I agreed to do this. Because half the time when somebody says to like get on a Zoom or like
you be low.
Anything like on social media, like that I have to see myself while I'm recording it, I'm like, no.
Tap out.
You be low.
Yeah.
Speaking of Raekwon, part of the reason why I probably won't be going to Grand Slam with you, AO, is because I just spent way too much money on an original Purple tape. But it's for research purposes.
Okay.
I'm a historian. I love this shit. So
gotta do both.
Hip hop purist boog.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying? My bad.
Talk about that later. That's
that's fire. That's art. That's art.
Yeah, word.
The art. It's all about the art, man. It's all about the art, bro.
Yeah, man. All right, so let's get in the only bit of news that I have. Matter of fact, I was chopping it up with Lauriana in the DMs earlier this morning. She was like, "Yo, what about Grand Slam?" I was like, "Yo, I forgot." Matter of fact, yesterday you hit me. I was like, "Yo, I forgot." So we hit that pre-sale tonight. My only news is that I'm gonna be in the building. Grand Slam's my first AEW event.
Let's go, AO.
No way.
Let's go.
Yeah,
that's your first.
My first AEW.
That's a round of applause for yourself, bro.
Really?
That's a good
Wow.
You've been already?
I have been to like definitely some AEW events. That's like my main one that I follow is AEW.
Word. Ditto.
Fire.
One band, one
we
sound.
enjoy it.
Like
Yo,
honestly,
don't be ready with the one band was that crazy. I'm gonna just do the drum. I'm gonna just be like,
Yo,
one
Chad
band.
Cannon is
Chad
crazy.
Cannon.
Chad Cannon is
pause.
nuts.
That's wild, son. That's a wild one. Lauriana, we are going to be outlandishly pausing this whole episode, so just stay tuned for what's to come.
You're going to be outlandishly pausing this episode.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? We all can't be saying crazy things here. We got to be held accountable for our words. You know what I mean?
Word.
Jeez. All right, so like, if we don't have any other news while we got Lauriana on the vid on the pod right now, and we just talking about wrestling. You said you're kind of tapped in more so to AEW right now. How many events have you been to? Right.
So like, let me tell you my wrestling story. Right.
Word.
So. For a long time, like I really didn't know anything about wrestling. Like I would just see old stuff here or there and just be like, I mean, I like it, you know, but I didn't really know anything. Then you guys know Peter Rosenberg as like, you know, one of my bigger supporters and mentors.
Right.
So being around him, like years ago, I met Larry Legend. And
he's dope.
Larry.
Yeah, he's dope. He's the ring announcer, right?
Yeah. So he invited me to this, I think it was like a non-syndicated event around where I live in Jersey. And he's like, just come check it out or whatever. So me and E, also who produced the song that I just put out. So that's what's funny too, is like we go over there and I swear like I'm having the best time of my life. Like I thought I would probably try to duck out early or whatever, but in all actually, I'm like running around the place, following the wrestlers as they're falling out of the thing. I'm like, we gotta go smoke and we gotta come back. I left the place. I went and smoked. I got more, you know, in a good space for me. I went back. I stayed till the end, and then after that, I started going to like the fourth rope things and stuff, you know. And I would see like, you know, I'm Griselda fan, whatever too. So I see Westside and everybody. Again, it's like, yeah, I'm having the best time, right? Every time I would go to a wrestling thing, I'm like, I'm having the best time. And then I got tickets to an AEW one, and I just never stopped going to AEW. I started taking my nephew, like, you know, I'm like into Britt Baker, Jade Cargill, like, you know, I just love the energy. And even though I haven't been like a forever, like long time, I know everything fan, it's like, I have the best time. I'm going every single time that I can. I'm booing, I'm cheering. And if somebody tells me it's not real, I'm like, then you do it. Show me.
Word. Facts.
Yeah, word.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So that's how I feel about wrestling. It's like I don't know everything, but AEW is that's my crew right now.
That's what's
That's
up.
what's
You
up.
mentioned
why
Jade,
don't you like
September
WWE?
20th.
You mentioned Jade and Britt.
It's not that I don't. That's the thing, is like I do like it. Like if I was there too and you take me and you guys teach me, take me under your wing, let me come with you to some things, I'll probably start getting in deeper and deeper. But
Chad's gonna keep trying to get you in
question.
some shit this whole podcast. So just have your PR on speed dial, because Chad's gonna keep trying the whole time.
Yeah, I'm like, and sometimes I'll see like you guys go to the events, and I don't have that many people to go that, you know, are really into it like that.
Well, you know, you're with the Ringside Club. You know
So
what
that's what I'm saying. I started having to tell you guys, like, come on, don't forget me, like, invite me too, because I be out there anyway sometimes.
You know what? I think a better question would be, why do you gravitate more with AEW? Like outside of like the connections there, like why would you gravitate more towards AEW than WWE? And you're not really tapped in at all. You're more of just what's the word that we're looking for? AO.
Just casual, like
you're the casual.
Like it's like not hardcore historian. You just vibing. It's just vibing.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly,
Why
I
them
think
over the
I
E?
think like, well, for one, my sister's a veteran, right? So at one point they had given her these tickets, and that's where I went to that first before, you know what I mean? So it's like I got that experience and started to know the wrestlers a little bit more. So that's one reason it's like more accessible, I guess. But it's not that I would say I won't like the other one as much or whatever. But you know, like I said, like the Lucha Bros and everything, it's like
That's my shit.
I just some of the people I'm already there.
That's fire. Yeah, I was about to say, like, you mentioned Jade, you mentioned Britt Baker, you just mentioned the Lucha Bros. Like, who else are you feeling right now?
You know, I like to watch the MJF like drama or whatever. So like, I think it's funny to me. Orange Cassidy, my nephew, is like really into. He'll be screaming and screaming the whole time for Orange Cassidy. So it's like, you know, just when I get there, whoever gives me the energy. Jade, I'm always for Jade because I just love her energy, her bossy attitude, and she's fit and she's strong and she don't care what no one says. Like. She went at it with Bow Wow or whatever. Like Jade is probably and Britt Baker though are my favorites. But I'm a girl and you know I just love that energy.
Feel it.
Yeah.
Feel it.
So,
right, so
I'll be there September 20th.
Yes, come
at
through.
Arthur Ashe.
Yeah, we in there. Arthur Ashe.
Yeah.
Jealous.
Nah, like y'all got a couple of AEW shows under the belt already. I gotta give mine.
We do.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I've gone to like Atlantic City for that. I've gone like to New York, like Jersey, like they had them in Newark or whatever. Like if I find out about it, I'm there. I'm going.
I think the other one over here, y'all went to the one over off the Cross Island, right? The UBS Arena.
Yeah, UBS Arena.
Yeah. I gotta catch one because I ain't too far from the crib. So
it's actually a really nice setup.
It's free. Like I drive by there almost every day. Well, not every day, but weekly at least.
Yeah.
And like I've never been there. So
yeah.
That's
no, not Long Island, just the UBS Arena. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, Long Island's rough.
No, I'm just
I definitely gotta check out the UBS Arena. I only live like 5 minutes away from there, so
yeah.
No, word.
Yeah.
Word up. All right, so outside of wrestling talk, you just dropped a brand new single called LMK. Like, what's the vibes like with that? I told you I was running that on repeat while I was setting up. This smooth summer vibes, but what's the science behind that song?
I appreciate that. Yeah, it is a science. Like honestly, I co-wrote that with a friend, Tyler James Bellinger, and he's like an insane, talented songwriter, singer. And I had been trying to get in the studio with him for a long time. And it was like the first beat that Chad and you guys know E, who produced City of Diamonds, This Pain, a bunch of stuff for me. It was like the first beat he pulled up that day. And we were like, okay, let's, you know, and it was a vibe. And it was a summer vibe right away. Had a couple people play on it. And yeah, here we go. Let me know. The artwork was done by like a legendary graffiti artist from Miami named he's called Atomic. So I was just super excited with the whole team on this song. Honestly, it is special to me because of that. It's like nobody told me when to release it, how to release it, what to wear, where I have to go right now, who I have to talk to. It's really the first time for me that I'm like just releasing a piece of art on my own way, however I want to. And I didn't promise anybody a whole project or an album or when the next song or the next piece of art is coming from me. It's like whenever I say right now. So that kind of feels good. I'm on my Jade, you know, attitude.
Cargill,
yeah.
My baddies, no, yeah.
All right, let's run a little bit of LMK right here on the Ringside Club. Yeah,
give it to him. Something new.
Out for the summertime. Tank tops, tan lines. Haven't seen you in a long time. Now I'm seeing you with new eyes. Looking like you're brand new. Fresh fade tattoos, but I'm trying to know the real you. Give me something I can see through. Moonlight glances, passing blunts. Want you in the morning sun like that. Just tell me how you feel.
that shit
Again,
is
that's
dope.
LMK. Let me know by
Fire.
Lauriana May. Make sure you pick that
Fire.
up. All
Thank
streaming
you, guys.
services. Hit the iTunes. Hit the
That was tough.
Spotify's. You heard?
Yes, please do. Thank you, guys. I
So
appreciate
congrats.
you spreading the news.
Hey,
Of course. You know we
it's all
got you.
love. You know.
Sharing your 1 year with me. Thank you.
Hey, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate you.
Gang, gang.
Hey.
Same.
Yo, Lori, let them know where they could find you on social media. Anything else you may have going on that you want to plug?
Yeah, definitely find me on Instagram at Lauriana May, LaurianaMae. Sometimes I don't know if I'm spelling it right, but yeah, that's it. You could find the music anywhere you stream, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you stream. And I'm really not that active on a lot of other social media platforms. So just look for my name, and wherever I am, that's where I'll be. But definitely Instagram.
Word up. Yo, appreciate you once again for stopping by. Celebrate
thanks for
with
coming.
us.
Girl.
Thank
Thank you guys so much
This is
for
a
having
pleasure.
me. I gotta see you guys soon. I better see you before the 20th. Like, let's do something.
Hey, we around. We around.
You got a
gotta
new
link
single
up.
out. You got to come work the record. You got to be outside now, girl. It's time. You know what
I
I'm
know
saying? You
it's
got to
right.
work this record. We
I
got to
gotta
see
come
you on some
outside.
press runs. We want to see Lauriana out in the fold right now. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
time.
it's true.
Necessary.
It's true. You're right, Chad. I gotta get out here. It's
You know,
time.
we outside. You out. You with the
Yeah, we
ringside club. We the outside guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm outside with it. You know what I mean? Ayo be outside. Ron be outside. Boog be. You know what I mean? He and CT
You really
be
see
outside.
it.
Said Boog.
Yeah.
Book, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh shit.
Definitely. I'm having a nice
Yeah,
time
right.
with you guys, honestly. It's really great to just come by and spend some time with all you guys. I really appreciate it.
Cheers.
Thank you for stopping by.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Let's go.
All right. Peace.
Yo,
Gentlemen. What's good, fellas? How about that?
What's
How
up,
about
my
a
guy?
year in? How about a guess? How y'all feeling?
Feeling nice, man. It's all about the art, man. The art really
art.
got me feeling nice, bro.
Randy Orton in the building.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Culture.
peeped that. Oh yeah, that's gonna be the name. That's gonna be the name until next year.
The Chocolate Viper was getting out of hand.
Well, you the one who started it, didn't you?
Yo, right? Like, how you going to critique? You made it, right?
Yeah, you the one who created it. So how you gonna critique me on something you created?
Crazy.
Crazy.
Chad Cannon.
Crazy.
One
Hey,
year,
man.
fellas. Cheers to us.
Yeah, salute.
Absolutely.
I got an empty drink, but I'm about
Cheers
to
to
go refill.
us.
I just got some agua on deck. That's about it.
That's all right,
Hey,
Ron.
that's
Be
just as
safe.
good.
Be
Too
healthy.
hot. Too hot over here.
To another
This is
year,
good. It's-
gentlemen.
It's 90-11 outside, you heard?
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
We right here, guys.
We right here.
Cheers to that.
All right, man. So I see no better time than the present. If you got a prepped and cooked tonight, Chad, floor is yours. Let me go grab my refill.
Prepped and cooked. All right, guys. This is what no, forget that. I can't do a prepped and cooked because I don't even know my prepped and cooked yet. So while we're just going to buy time, I'm going to run through the news. I'm going to run through a little bit of news, actually, that's going on.
Get at it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So why not? Right now in the news, we have a former WWE star debuting in Impact Wrestling. Fellas, can you guess who it is who's coming to Impact Wrestling? Come on. Come on.
You said a former WWE star going to Impact, you said?
That's right. They're going to be in Impact. Come on. You guys will never guess who it is. Come on.
Damn.
I need an attempt. We're 24 minutes in. Come on.
All right, we got to get a hint. Could you give us at least some hint? Because it's way too open-ended. There's a lot
They're
of
Latino.
hints. They're Latino.
They're Latino.
Whoa.
Is it going to be one of these?
Is it Carlito?
No.
Okay.
But you're kind of close.
Isn't it like not man, those two Spanish guys that just went to NXT. One of them is splitting up. One of them split up on Tuesday, or it seems
What's the question?
Like
I was going through the news and I was just saying that a former Latino WWE star is debuting with Impact this weekend. I was trying to buy some time.
I didn't peep. Who was that?
I might be wrong, but Humberto Carrillo and one of the other
Not
guys.
even close, Randy Orton. It's all right. Kalisto is the one that is going to be debuting with Impact Wrestling.
Kalisto.
Yeah, on nobody's bingo card. That is making the debut. And AO took his headphones off on that one. He was like, nah, no way I checked in for Kalisto. Impact debut. No, this just validated AO's reasoning for why he doesn't want to watch Impact. He's just like, yo, Kalisto's coming? All right, I'm good.
Leave
Yo,
Impact
low-key,
alone.
no. Low-key, I was watching Impact today. I had Impact on. I was catching up with last week's episode or whatever, and I'm gonna tap in. It ain't look too tough.
Yeah, Alex Shelley's the world champion. He's doing the thing. Leo Rush era, the Trinity
Josh
era.
Alexander's back. Josh Alexander's back. Leo Rush is doing this thing.
Yeah,
Now was
Trinity's
Alex
holding
Shelley?
down.
Did they make him champion? Because there was was it like one of those weird injury reverse call things like Willow, or was it an actual?
No.
Like, did he actually? Oh, okay.
No, it was like
genuinely
Josh Alexander got injured, and then it was Vinkage.
Yes.
So then
That's right. That's right.
It wasn't him and Kushida, I think.
No, it was Steve Macklin actually who was the
Macklin.
champion after Alexander. But I think they quickly
that's right.
realized, like, all right, this ain't where we got to be long term. Let's get this thing off of Macklin and put this on Shelley. Shelley's got it, and now he's in the fall with Josh Alexander. But Impact's doing good. I think they've got the best women's division out right now. Actually,
1,000%.
100%. A lot of people are finally waking up to that. So shout out to all of y'all on the tweets, on social media in general, Reddit, that are finally waking up to Impact Wrestling's Knockouts division. Yes, Trinity is the world heavyweight champion of that division, Knockouts champion, but, you know, that division has been strong the entire time. Even when Taya Valkyrie had a career that mattered, she was one of the best in Impact Wrestling. Like, there's a lot of people that, like, you know what I'm saying?
What you're doing.
Deanna Purrazzo, like, she's going crazy, man. Even Giselle Shaw, like Killer Kelly, like Masha Slamovich, like I haven't even said Tasha Steelz yet. Impact is going crazy with the women's division, man. So speaking of that, the next news is the drama that's going on with the WWE, with the AEW women's division. Fellas, do we want to intersect the segment with the news?
Yo, before that, speaking of AEW news, before you do that, I just want to mention that I saw something about Santana and Ortiz being relisted on the AEW.com website or AllEliteWrestling.com website, listed as Proud and Powerful. It wasn't that before.
Really?
And
Let's
just
go.
got relisted there. So
I'm
I
with
don't know
that.
if that's what that means, if they're definitely, you know, back in the building, but it might be
I'm with
around the
that.
corner for Santana to come in and link him back up with Ortiz. Word up.
Wrong needed. Tag team division is crowded, and yet you still don't care about too many of the tag teams, but Proud and Powerful are long overdue for a title run. I actually think they are going to end up in the Ring of Honor, but we'll get into that topic at another point in Ringside Club.
But yeah, you was saying about the drama in the women's
drama. All right, so an independent wrestler who's featured in various places, LaFusto, and this is via Wrestling News, hinted on Twitter that there may be issues backstage with the women's roster that's unrelated to the booking. It's cute how people blame booking for a bad women's division. Talent with too much power, talent degenerating each other, talent trash-talking potential employees so they never get in as soon as they walk in. It starts here. Interesting development because of the sign that popped up on Dynamite that I'm sure we'll probably bring in our fan sign segment, where it said, what was it?
It was
Book the women's division better.
Division better.
Which is a hot topic right now.
That might be
amongst our
everybody's
community.
sign. And like when you talk about timing, like as soon as that match between Taya and Britt Baker ended, that's what popped up.
Yep.
Like so, yeah.
So, hot take. What y'all fellas think? We all agree. I think we all in unison. I don't even think I got to ask that question. I think we all agree the women's division.
I mean, yo, in general, I mean, two
think
things.
it needs
Two
some
things
work.
in response to this. Number one is like whatever the backstage shit is. This is wrestling, and this is also every industry. People that work together don't get along, so it is what it is. There's always going to be drama. But as far as like the women's division at AEW, I think I said either last episode or the episode before, is you have 5 hours of television right now. You have 2 hours of Dynamite, you have an hour of Rampage, and 2 hours of Collision. And the women's division gets roughly 45 minutes, just about 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Most of it's on Ring of Honor.
No. Just
I
on
don't
those.
really follow
Just,
Ring of Honor. Crazy.
just on AEW TV, not put Ring of Honor to the side because that's, Athena's killing it and they have multiple segments and all of that. The problem there is it doesn't get the lion's share of the conversation because it's not on television. It's on a behind a paywall. But just dealing with AEW, that's the issue. I said a couple episodes ago that, if Tony, this was a problem in the first year, and then it was like, all right, they're still sorting the roster out, blah, blah, blah. And then the further you go, you realize year 2, year 3, year 4, nothing's changed.
Yo, Kenny Omega's got it covered, guys. Don't worry.
Hey,
what does that have to do with anything?
I heard a theory, and there's no way of verifying this, but I was listening to something earlier where there could be a theory, like it could be a mandate from the networks who's just looking at numbers. They're looking at whatever the segment is doing. But even if that's the case, the problem with that is it's like a chicken versus egg. What's actually going to get people excited? We know, we talk about it all the time, like there has to be good storytelling, good feuds, good angles, some kind of build to get somebody excited about the match and the participants in those matches and in that division. So if you're not booking angles, like right now you got a TBS champion who's MIA, you got the women's champion who's MIA on the last episode. If you're not booking angles, then you're not going to get people excited. So, of course, the ratings might be lower for that segment if you're just throwing people out there for a match, really nothing behind it, or even worse, like last week when we saw Britt Baker out there for a minute and some change, and that was the entire match. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. Like, we can talk until I'm blue.
I just checked stats. I'm trying to get some more stats, but in 2022, 51 of 52 AEW Dynamite shows only featured one women's main event.
You mean one women's match?
Women's main event.
No, that wouldn't be right.
Yeah, it's just a women's match. Like 51 to 52 had one women's match, you mean?
There's no way that there was 51 main event matches in a year.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to be the main event in that division when there's only one match. You know
it features only one match. You're right. I was trying to find when was the last time a women's match main evented Dynamite. That's what I'm trying to find.
Let's put it this way, right? The thing that really bugs me out about that situation is what's the worst that could happen? So what if you put them on and their segment flops or it fails? What's the worst that could happen? You're not pulling some tremendous numbers on the rest of the show that it's going to tank your show. Let the women have more time. If you're not going to let them have more time, let them have their own show, bro. I'm telling you, if the women had their own show, it would not get canceled. It would do numbers. People.
If they had Rampage, I agree. I feel
there's no reason why they don't.
They had a promo.
And AO's going to see. We've both been to our own AEW live events a few times now. AO's going to see the structure of it. After you go, tell me that they cannot film that episode that they're going to film of Rampage, that they can't film that for a women's event and have all the women's matches filmed right there. That there's no way they can't.
People would probably stay just for that card.
Just because
I get to watch all of them in one match in 1 hour.
They'd be booking to prove something every week. They would literally kill that shit, bro. I don't know why nobody else is. Maybe they're seeing it. Maybe it is some network mandate shit. But if it is, then I hope that pan to that sign was deliberate by AEW to show the network and not just some cameraman making a mistake to just fuck up and be like, oh, my bad. Like, I hope that was a deliberate thing to be like, yo, yeah, we got to do something with this. The fans are saying they want this. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Aside from our friend James Cornette, who we know will never really change with the times. It's
Jimothy.
That women's division, listen, man. They had a promo on Dynamite for Nyla Rose and Hikaru Shida, and I just found myself going, where the fuck did this come from? Yeah, and I wanted to be like, oh, this is cool. Like, I appreciate the fact that this is, like, happening, but it was also like, where the fuck is this coming from? Like, where did Nyla Rose just come back from? Where did Hikaru Shida just come back from?
Yo, before you said that it was a Latino when you were talking about a talent going to Impact, I was going to say it was not Dewdrop. What's her real name?
Oh, Piper Niven.
Piper Niven. She's still on deck. She's still in the.
No, I know, but I was just saying. I was thinking because I'm like, nobody's really doing much with her, and that would be kind of dope for her to go.
Yo, she would be fire in Impact. I can't front. She probably would get over great.
Anyway,
she would get a little shine over there.
Her and like Havoc or like the other shorty that's over there, like with Decay, like Rosemary, like not Rosemary, but Jessica Havoc. There we go. Shorty.
Even in AEW though, imagine if she had a faction with Nyla Rose and they just ran shit. That shit would be ridiculous.
Yeah. Like that's the thing. Like my fault, Ron.
No. Go ahead.
That's the thing about the women's roster also is like there was so much talk again beginning early days of AEW about how the roster was okay but really not up to par. Yo, Pete Rosado, what's good? We all wrestling,
guy.
man.
What up, Pete?
What up?
What's good, man? Thank you.
What up? Appreciate you, man.
Salute.
The other thing is like they've developed Larry Legend is the truth. Yeah. I was mentioning Larry Legend is I think when Pete during Pete's episode, I think he mentioned Larry Legend a couple of times too.
Definitely did.
Yeah.
That's where I heard that name most recently. I was like, yo, someone said that name recently.
Yeah, we got Lauriana out to We Are Wrestling event.
Shouts out to Pete too. I just saw these comments in here now. I think he might have left some a few minutes ago. I haven't been on it, brother, but I'm on it right now. I got you. He's been showing love throughout the episode, so shouts out to Pete.
The only two that would be the Mouse House Bacon is taken care of, and Britt and Jade. Hey, but what I was about to say is like they've added so much. They've added enough talent now to that division that the lack of talent is not an excuse anymore. You have people that can carry segments.
Good
that
point.
Have those
Good
that speak
point,
up
Pete.
and relegated to Collision or ROH. Yeah. Like Collision is the fucking in school suspension kids. You know what I mean? It's the in school suspension.
We gonna get to
man.
Collision, man. We
get it
potting tonight, man.
Yeah, the bottom line is like, yo, get it together. Like there's no reason why this shit is not popping in that division. You got the talent right there.
Yeah.
Injuries or not, you got enough people back to make something happen.
What I was about to say before was it seems like whatever's going on with the AEW Women's Division has been going on for a while, because I was seeing some tension and whatnot since they were doing that backstage show, because you were seeing some stuff with a chick from the
Tony Storm?
Thunder Rosa?
Yeah, in the crew with Thunderstorm.
Thunderstorm.
Yeah, that was a faction. That was a crew for a little bit.
Yeah, Ruby Soho, because she had that thing. She had that thing with Sammy Guevara's wife and whatever, and then Britt Baker had a thing with like the Bell with Thunder Rosas. So it seems like there was things going on way back then. So I guess you're getting tired of it now. And even judging from this last Dynamite, like that, it was only one women's match on there, and it was like 10 minutes. And the promo chat that you were talking about before with other shorties. So I'm like, yo, yeah, they kind of got to get it together, because I want to see a lot more from these women. There's a lot of talented women on the roster.
I really do feel like it just follows suit with what everybody else is doing in the world. We love wrestling, so we pay attention to it. We're speaking on it. But I really think in every avenue, in every world, shit's just spilling out everywhere into public because people can't keep their shit contained no more. It's like everybody's commenting on something. Everybody's thoughts are out there. Their opinions are out there. They're not as quiet and reserved as they used to be when mixing with other people. So we're getting a lot of antagonistic situations where people are just butting heads. And, for better or for worse, I feel like it does make better content. Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker specifically, you can't tell me you don't want to see them two women fighting each other again, because that was some classic shit. But it just is what it is. I feel like, unfortunately, there's things that perpetuate themselves. Like racism in America, for instance, but that's a completely different episode. And other things of that nature.
The Yakubian brother brought that one up, y'all.
My bad. I'm drinking the
He's drinking rum and Red Bull.
Yo.
It is what it is. But
Jesus.
But yeah, I'll stay off that topic. But yeah, it's just like certain things perpetuate themselves, and until there is a situation that causes us to stop and change the course of action, it's just going to continue on that path. Shouts out to the AEW Women's Division. I know there's mad talent there, but yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I think Tony's got what he's got. I think he's got to do what he's got to do. He's got a real difficult job, but I still think we're going to always drive that car and tell him what to do no matter what, because that's our job, so to speak. That's what we do here.
1000%. And yo, I'll end on this.
I was going to say it's 9:47 in usual AEW fashion. This is the right time.
The women's segment.
We've given the women's segment more time than AEW.
Right, than Dynamite. I'll end on this. There's proof of concept that Tony can book a competent women's division, because, like you mentioned earlier, Ring of Honor is rocking. Ring of Honor. He's booking that.
Willow
too.
and Athena was fire.
Willow and Athena was fire. They had a trilogy of matches that was, but then you also got to remember, what's the other shorty that Willow, not Willow, that Athena had the feud with, used to be in Impact.
Oh,
Mercedes Martinez?
Nah, on period with the
Blue
blue hair.
said, nah.
With the blue hair.
Kiera Hogan.
Kiera Hogan.
Kiera Hogan.
Right.
Baby.
They
Sorry
had
to
a
your
nice
mother.
feud that intertwined. Like she had, bounced between Willow. Like there's again proof of concept that Tony can do it. It's not happening on TV.
It's
Pete
just
said
the black
Willow-
wrestlers that get relegated to, the YouTube show.
Yo,
and
I
then,
just want to see. I just want to see
Willow
other-
title.
Camille
other
from
counterparts.
NWA. If Camille from NWA comes over to AEW and either forms a tag team with Jade or pits against Jade, I'm all for it. We talked about it before.
Camille's not coming over to AEW. Camille's going
I
to ride
know.
or die in NWA.
I feel you.
She's the champion. She's
Pete,
the only one that matters.
Yeah,
I agree.
She's
Willow
going to Nick
definitely
Aldrich
should've beat
herself right
Athena.
now.
ain't nothing a little tampering can't fix.
Hey, a little contract tampering never hurt anybody.
You know what I mean?
Contracts are made to be
Last bit of news, fellas, before we get into our topics.
broken.
AEW is 4 weeks away from making its debut in the United Kingdom, my other home country. You know what I'm saying? Wembley Stadium for the All In show, August 27th. One of the rumored matches prepared to happen. Y'all ready for this? Y'all heard this news yet or not? Not yet.
Yeah, I saw it.
So we have potentially Will Ospreay making his return to the UK and making his return to AEW against not the Cleaner or Twinkle Toes himself. It's going to be Chris Jericho. It's the potential with the Don Callis family. How we feeling about that, fellas? How's that news rocking for y'all? How's that sitting with y'all? Pause.
What was that you just said now?
In a vacuum and by itself, definitely not looking forward to it. But that's one of them joints with the rest of the card, depending on how that shakes out. It could be, whatever. I expect like Will Ospreay to probably do All In and All Out. You know what I mean? So
I gotta pause this episode real quick. Ayo, I need to hire you right now, live on the air. Give me at least one, but I know you got at least two better names for the Don Callis family than the Don Callis family.
That's a bad name.
You're on go right now, bro. I know you got it.
Damn, live on air. Let's go to work. I don't know, man. What was the faction?
The Callis Canadians.
Who was he? Cyrus? He was Cyrus?
Yeah.
He used to be in ECW. He was Cyrus, right?
Yes, he was actually.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right,
man.
we'll make this a homework assignment. We'll make it a homework assignment.
I got a few of these. I'll come back.
Next episode, we are going to have a
next
much
week.
better name for the Don Callis family than the Don Callis family.
I mean, if it's going to
off
end
right
up being the Don Callis family versus United Empire, I think this is going to be Will Ospreay's biggest match commercially.
Respect.
With a name like Chris Jericho, which is what I'm like, all right, I'll accept that. That's actually pretty fucking dope. This actually is going to be a banger. Jericho isn't going to be a fucking slouch. You know what I'm saying?
And
I don't
while
see
we're
him
on
being...
it, we shout Hal Haney out a lot, but if you've seen those drawings on AEW of Don Callis with Kenny Omega, like some oil painting, like drawing looking thing, and then they just had one with Don Callis and Jericho. That's Mel Coleman art. She's dope as shit. She does a lot of drawings for AEW as well. Shouts out to her.
Shout out to her.
The artist, bro. The artist. You got to pay attention
It's
to the
the art, bro.
It's
Yeah,
the
it's
art.
the
Art, man.
Shouts
All
out to
about the
D-Jack.
art. It's all about the art, man. Let's get into these topics, though. What's
do it.
up?
Ayo, what you got?
My topic was Lauriana's segment, so it's
All
not
right,
wrong.
so stop yelling. We're gonna be friends. It's fine.
Fucker.
Yes, sir.
Back your neck.
All right, so this week, since we are 1 year in, we finished 1 year for the RSC podcast. I was about to say,
Let 'em know.
let's get into our favorite finishers of all time right now. So I'm just get right into it. No speech, no nothing. So at top 5, I got the pedigree by Triple H. Man,
Respectable.
Listen, you might have to get that pause button out because I'm thinking about all these explanations and it's gonna sound crazy.
Let me just hit a preemptive pause.
It may or may not, but like you got the pedigree, man, slamming your man's foot force.
Gotta
into the ground.
Jesus,
like
Ron.
just
God,
devastating.
You got to go to number 2 right now.
Yo. Then you got the J Driller by
Yo, what was Ron on when he made his list, bro? Yo, rest in peace.
That's why he wanted 5. He couldn't pick just one. He couldn't pick just one. He needed to list off all 5. He wanted to be
rest
freaky
in
man.
peace.
Yo, rest in peace, Jay Driller. It's just for
rest in
that.
peace, Jay Driller. Look at where this nigga's at, son.
Oh my God.
Look at where he's at. Rest in peace,
Jay
Briscoe. Man.
Rest in peace, Jay Briscoe.
Oh man.
And then at number 3, I got the Styles Clash.
Yeah.
Number 2, I got the RKO.
Right.
And then number 1, I got the Stone Cold Stunner.
Solid.
Respect.
And
Respect.
Chad, was that fast enough for you? Pause.
Solid.
Because you were complaining off air before. So,
yeah.
We're gonna take mad long and shit. Was that good for you?
Yo, son.
This episode
He
is
already
clearly
had
our best episode ever.
Oh.
He knew he was gonna just get that whole dialogue off. That's why he was like, "Yo, listen, had a pause already, man. Is it good enough?"
I already knew.
Is it long enough for you?
Is
you
that
taking
good?
it enough?
But is that good, Chad? Because I'm gonna time your segment.
You got the stopwatch out.
Yeah, I got the stopwatch out.
Yo, Ron is
got
not
the classic
playing with
stopwatch
you,
ready.
Yeah, because you in the
Yo, Ron turns heel so quick, bro. Yo, shit is wild, yo.
Nigga, I don't be doing shit to nobody. You fuck with me, nigga.
No, word. But that Ron,
it might be I might be on.
Rodney.
I might be on a heel run for the next year, dog.
Yo,
Rodney.
the RKO out of nowhere.
I was
nowhere.
Yo, was RKO? What was RKO? He had a heel run in 2012 with the 2 belts. Yeah, that's me, Rodney Orton with the heel run.
Yo,
all right, I got a list. I switched mine up because I did like my favorite finishes right now, like current active. Just what I think
I'm
is
just
the dopest
freestyling
move.
this whole episode. Mine is not pre-planned, so let's go.
All good. So I got my 5, no particular order. I have Athena with the Eclipse. I think she calls it the O-Face right now, but I got that. I have, for all the nerds out there, I got the European Clutch, which is a hell of a combination by Zack Sabre Jr. Shit's fire. One Winged Angel is the most protected finisher in pro wrestling right now, and it looks like it could knock you out for real. So that's 3. I got the Nightmare Pendulum, Alexander Hammerstone, former MLW World Heavyweight Champion. I have no idea how that move doesn't lead to actual concussions because he looks like he's knocking somebody the fuck out every time. For real. And rounding out my 5, I have the Insane Elbow by Kairi Sane because it looks like probably the best elbow since Macho Man's. The fact that she gets the air, she tilts all the way sideways and still sticks to landing. So yeah. The Eclipse, European Clutch, One Winged Angel, Nightmare Pendulum, and the Insane Elbow Bug.
I respect it.
Sounds
I'm
good to me.
I'm definitely not going with current moves. I'm definitely going to kind of run the spectrum. So at number 5, I'm going to go with, because a lot of guys have done this, but for whatever reason, when we were kids, I really appreciated it as a finishing move. Kane's Choke Slam. Number 4, I'm going to go with the Sharpshooter by Bret Hart.
Okay.
Yo, this really affected me as a kid. No one would ever pick this, but I'm telling you, this is before our time. If you go back and you watch some shit, this dude was a fucking complete nutcase. Bob Backlund with the crossface chicken wing. That shit is fucking insane.
Word.
Remember
when he
were literally
snapped?
Petrified of this guy. You know what I mean?
Word.
Like,
Word.
this
He looked
nutcase.
like a nutcase, and he had the politician gimmick, and then
Word.
Facts.
Yeah. So that
Everybody's scared of politicians.
Word. Number 2, because he was my favorite wrestler, is Jake Roberts with the DDT.
That's funny. I had that as number 6 actually.
Yeah, and even though it will always be fuck Hulk Hogan, my number 1 is the leg drop, because when I was a kid, that's the whole reason I got into wrestling. So
it works.
Okay.
That's my shit.
It definitely works. I had that Bash at the Beach main event on at some point on Shuffle earlier today.
Word.
Yeah.
Yo, Hogan had a list of people that he actually dropped that leg drop on a few times in the match where he had to finish it, but it wasn't just one. I'm trying to figure out who it was. but that would be an interesting topic too.
Yo, in a complete sidebar, if you ever get a chance to see clips of Hogan in Japan, like there's one or two clips out there, he actually got busy.
Yeah,
like,
I heard.
busy.
I heard he's real good in the ring. Like he gets real technical in the ring when he was out in Japan.
Yeah, he actually got busy. Fuck Terry, but Hulk kind of got busy in Japan.
My choices, a little bit elaborate. I decided to abide by Rondon's rules. I got 5 finishers of current. So we all didn't have the same ones. I got current, actual moves, and I got submissions. My submissions, probably be a little bit of everything. But I will say I'm going to start with the crippler crossface, the ankle lock, Kurt Angle one, the Chris Benoit crossface. I like the Brock lock. That would actually be my submission move. I think the Brock lock was very underrated. I think if you brought
What was
it back.
the Brock lock? I don't remember that.
The Brock lock was the stretch muffler. Pause.
Word. Okay.
That's what Big E was kind of using for a little bit.
Okay. Word.
Texas Cloverleaf, I think, is a classic. And I also like, honestly, my favorite submission finisher right now is Julia Hart's name that I'm waiting for Excalibur to give a name to because it's actually dope as shit. And probably one of the best parts of Julia Hart's character is that submission finisher that she uses. That's like my current favorite right now. That like, I would probably use that on somebody. Honorary mention, I should have mentioned, I'm actually swapping out the Cloverleaf and I'm putting the Kimura lock in there, Brock Lesnar style. That right there looks like it hurts. Like I would take somebody down with that one. Pause like that. You know what I mean? Put somebody in that joint. Koala bear room. You really can break an arm. Like that shit's gonna hurt. You know what I mean? As far as pinfalls, I'm going to go with the Stomp. It's one of my favorites. I like the coup de grace. It's one of my favorites. The Nightmare Pendulum. That was a classic. That's a really good one. I like Blunt Force Trauma, LA Knight. I think that's a really good one.
Yeah.
And I also like, my wild card right now would have to be, it's so just random, but I'm going to go with the Judas Effect, the back elbow. Chris Jericho.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm with
I'll
that.
take that.
So, a bonus question, just one thing. What is like your least favorite finisher?
Let's only give one.
Yeah, just one.
Cena's only because I got Peacock on right now, and it's a Cena versus Seth Rollins match.
Oh,
The AA is this guy's a menace, bro. But the STFU?
Yeah.
What does he call it now?
No, attitude adjustment.
No, not the fireman's carry, the submission.
the STFU.
STFU?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I believe so,
STFU.
yeah.
And only because the way that he holds his arms and you can see like
It looks like a joke.
Yeah, like just snug it up a little bit. And I think Stone Cold told him that one time. And he had a match, I want to say, like against Randy Orton one time, where he actually like, had him in the whole arm, and it looked good. And it looked like, Cena's arms are brolic, so he probably pop homie's head off. But just off top of the head, like that's one I just hate watching it only because like if you just tighten that up a little bit, make it snug, it looks it looks official. But that's mine.
Boog, what you got?
For least favorite, this is probably the hater comment of the year, yo. I don't even know the name of it. Whatever the hell that shit is, Austin Theory be doing.
Yo,
What's that? What does he even do?
Austin Theory and Rice.
He does it was just like a Death Valley driver.
Yes, something. But whatever it is he does, whatever he calls it, that's my least favorite. Anybody else could do it.
A-Town down.
No, I'm just messing with you. No, my
There
least
we
favorite move, my least favorite finisher is if it's a current finisher, I'm really not a fan of the buckshot lariat. I think it's kind of weak. Hangman Page.
Wow.
Hell of a setup.
That's
I was
that's
gonna
one
put
of-
that on my enjoyable moves too. I
That's
was gonna
one of
put
mine,
that
but
one.
that's fair. That's fair.
It's a hell of a setup.
That's one of my favorites, but that's fair.
I would swap out actually the Blunt Force Trauma from LA Knight from my previous 5, and I'd actually put the Muscle Buster because when I first saw that at Ring of Honor Live in Lake Grove, it fucked me up.
I'm a big fan of FTR's finisher too. That's a
The big
honorable
rig.
mention.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, Shatter Machine.
Tag team
That
finishers.
almost,
The Shatter
that
Machine.
Yo,
almost made mine.
we should just do a tag team episode next week. Like just an OD tag team episode
Cool.
next week.
I'm with it.
I'm with it. Let's just do a
Yeah,
tag team episode. Just like whatever's tag team trending, historian facts, topics. Let's just do a tag team.
Tag
episode
teams
next
don't get
week.
enough love, man.
OD.
We should do that.
So yeah,
We should do that.
we could run this question back next week for the tag teams. I'm with that.
Yeah, Shatter Machine almost made mine though, because like that shit is always clean when they hit it.
That was a good one. Least favorite though, any super kick, party. I'm just so sick of seeing a super kick. It's just a right hand forearm at this
But
point.
nobody uses that as a finish anymore though.
Yeah, it's usually.
I don't think anybody uses it as a finish.
A spot.
The Bucks still use it as a finish, no?
Nah, set up because like they got the Melter driver.
Yeah, or the Indy, Melter driver. What they call it, the Indy driver, but Melter driver. Yeah.
Indy Taker, I think, is the other one.
Indy Taker,
Without the flip is the Indy
That's
Taker.
a real good segue into my my topic. I'm not gonna lie.
What's your topic, God?
What it do, God?
All right. Well, we haven't talked about this guy in a real long time, and since this is an anniversary episode, you could call that kind of a streak. So the only person I know of with streaks is, the Undertaker, right? So besides Goldberg and Jade Cargill recently, but they're not on the same level. So I want to hear everybody's favorite Undertaker opponent. What's everybody's favorite Undertaker opponent? It doesn't have to be a title match, but just favorite Undertaker feud, who he wrestled against. I'll give you mine last, but we can start with AO.
Damn, that's tough. So, I oddly enough enjoyed his feud with Sid. Like, it wasn't the best match, but I was like a fan of Sid. I thought Sid was kind of dope. So I think they had a match at the same WrestleMania as the Austin and Brett submission match. I think the main event was Taker versus Sid for the title, if I'm not mistaken. So that was cool. I liked his matches with his feud with Diesel right before he went over to WCW. I thought that was cool. I don't think you can get any better than these two, Triple H and Foley.
Yeah.
Triple H, because of the quality of matches that they've had on the biggest stage. Everybody's going to talk about like the Shawn matches. And I'm probably always going to be like the low person on some of those Shawn matches. I think they're incredible, but I don't think they're like the best match of all time at all.
Right.
But the series that he had with Triple H, because they had a match before like the streak became a thing. I think they had a match. But just that I always have this sequence of that Hell in a Cell end of an era match where something happened. I think Taker had hit Shawn Michaels, who was the special guest referee in that match. He hit him or whatever, and Shawn was ducked down in the corner. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you hit the super kick, turn around into the pedigree. I don't think at any other time during the Undertaker streak that I believe it would have ended more so than there, other than when Brock beat him. So that right there, I think, is kind of seals the deal for me. Like the end of an era, even though it really wasn't the end of an era because everybody came back right after that. I thought that was masterful. So yeah, Triple H is probably my answer right there.
Cool.
I actually have the same answer. I was gonna say Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is probably number 2, but I have Triple H as number 1. Off the top of my head right now, I remember there was a specific segment where I think it was Triple H and Undertaker that came out, and without even saying anything, they both looked at the sign, like at the WrestleMania sign, and I was like, yo, that's just good storytelling right there, that they didn't have to say one word. And I don't remember if it was the lead up to the first fight they had, or if it was the second one. I don't recollect.
I remember what you're saying. I don't remember either, but I remember that. Like, they just came out and stood there. Everybody knew
they
what
just
time it
stood
was.
there. Like, they didn't say one word. Like, and everybody knew what they were talking about. So, and that whole lead up into the match, the match was dope. That's my favorite one I can think of off the top of my head. Second one is the Shawn Michael one. The execution, the flow, everything about it. With Shawn, that was fire. I think I'm going to watch that one back actually. So,
what you got, Chad?
I'm gonna go with a feud that really was one of my favorite parts of my teenage years as a wrestling fan, and that was the Legend Killer Randy Orton versus The Undertaker. That whole 2005 was so fire with Randy Orton and Undertaker.
Voices in my head, they have to me to understand.
Yeah.
That was an egregious pose. Do you see how much he was posing? Did you see what he was doing?
Why y'all doing
He was
my
like
pose?
this.
Come on, I'm
He
supposed
was
to be doing
literally
that
like
pose.
this, yo.
That's
I was like, nah, he was
Ron
wilding on the
Yes,
turnbuckle. But no,
Yo,
nonetheless,
wilding on the turnbuckle might be the name of the episode.
Wilding on the turnbuckle.
So
Jesus.
I vividly remember the spitting in the face, being a Legend Killer. Yeah, that was crazy. But really, what did it for me was the match at WrestleMania 21, which was actually really fucking good for Randy Orton standards at that time because I was watching Randy Orton a lot. I was heavy in tune, so like the reverse RKO out of the choke slam, I'd never seen that before, and that was like, oh shit,
Yeah, I
this
remember
guy's
that.
here
That
to
was
stay.
fire. That
I
was
was like,
fire.
this guy, Randy Orton's here to stay. Oh shit. And he pretty much went crazy the rest of the year, down to what Survivor Series, when it was everyone thought it was going to be Orton being the babyface Survivor, and then the fiery casket, and then boom, Undertaker's back, and it's like, oh shit, they're still doing this feud.
Yeah.
So I think that was a really, really dope feud, long-term storytelling, fucking Cowboy Bob, the fucking mirror. That was like one of the worst things SmackDown ever did, like with that fucking mirror thing they were doing with seeing Undertaker popping up here and there for Orton and shit. Wild feud, but a great, great feud for me. Like I vividly remember watching thoroughly. So Randy Orton did it for me with that one.
I know that was an episode on WWE did the show Rivalries. I think it was on E&E. I don't think it was named Rivalries, but it was like about the feuds, like famous feuds that they had in WWE.
Randy Orton looked in the mirror and saw the Undertaker. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that was one of them. And I don't know. I think that was the one. I think that's the feud that got Randy Orton like skyrocket from.
Yeah, that one. That was it. That RKO was the one that was like, oh, that was fire.
Yeah, because you never seen that before. Like
nobody saw that before. I know I didn't see that.
It's insane.
My pick is maybe not traditional, but again, this is all about moments for me when I was a kid that brought me into wrestling. No matter how many Undertaker matches I watch, there's one that always sticks out to me in my mind, and it's not the Foley match. It's the casket match with Yokozuna. I don't know why it was like one of the craziest matches I ever saw in my life. I'm like, yo, number one, the casket was huge.
They had to double it, right? Double the size.
There was a big ass casket. It was a very interesting match from beginning to end. You could tell that Yokozuna was spooked the entire time. It was just dope. And then to find out as an adult that these two guys were such good friends, it makes sense why it was like
BSK.
a really good match.
Yeah.
But and then again, I don't know why Boogie went full Republican. I'm not Republican, I promise. But this episode, I mentioned Kane a few times. I really liked his feud with Kane when Kane got introduced to the WWE as well.
That's
WWF
gotta
at
be
the time.
Kane.
Yeah, it's that introduction, that character arc that turned into that great story between those two and the Brothers of Destruction and all that. That shit was just, it spoke volumes to me when I was getting into wrestling in those days. So that would probably be the
was
two
that
for me.
Yoko feud? Did he have like a replica Yoko in the casket to
What
spook
did he
him?
have?
Or
There
am I
was something.
confusing
Yeah,
it with
no, I
something
think
else?
he was in the casket.
Taker was in the
Wasn't it like
casket.
Taker was in the casket and spooked him.
Yeah. It was
I think
something
there was
like
some
that.
weird trickery they did, and it was like he
Yeah.
was there too, and then he was behind him. I don't know, it was some weird shit going on.
Yeah,
I have
gotta
to
go back and
I have
watch
to
some
tune
of
into that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Yoko, man.
Word.
Rest in peace, Yokozuna.
What was his name?
Yo,
Rodney?
and sidebar, Rodney. Sidebar, rest in peace, Bam Bam Bigelow. I'm not sure if anybody got a chance to catch that Dark Side of the Ring.
Fire. Y'all know I'm tapped in. Dark Side of the
That's actually
Ring.
why I put that on
I know what I'm
our
on.
story when I shouted us out. I put Bam Bam's music up there.
Oh, word.
I know what I'm on.
Okay.
Peace to Bam Bam.
Yeah, actually,
He's
I
from
was
the
actually
East,
watching
man.
it from. I was actually watching it earlier.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I didn't get into him until he got to WCW. So I'm gonna go back and try to watch some of his earlier matches. So.
He has some fire shit in. Guess where I'm gonna say
New
in
Japan.
He teamed up with Vader. They were a tag team in.
That's scary
which
as
is
hell.
frightening.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, they have a really dope match. It's Vader with Bam Bam. I hope I'm not wrong about this. I want to say they had a match against Doom, which was Butch Reed and Ron Simmons versus Vader and Bam Bam somewhere in Japan. But like, talk about meaty men slapping meat. Like,
there this guy goes. Gotta throw the pause.
Dude.
Pause.
Chad, you gotta have a topic, no?
Yeah, I feel like I need the song queued up. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm gonna go ahead and play it right now.
Yeah, I definitely don't have it queued up.
Nah, don't worry. Don't worry. We're gonna get this going. I decided to take a part of Collision. I don't know if y'all tapped into Collision this past Saturday. Billy Gunn got his ass kicked by the House of Black in the trios match with the Acclaimed, like he usually does. Except this time was different because he laced off his boots, put them in the middle of the ring, and as we all know, that is the sign that a wrestler is retiring, to all of our shock and dismay, which I was tweeting. This is great fucking television. Like, this is awesome, actually. Like, you don't ever see this shit. So that was really cool to witness. I don't know if he is retiring, so we're going to kayfabe only this one. If Billy Gunn is retiring, then we're going to go ahead and talk about the history of Billy Gunn. Right now, let's appreciate Billy Gunn with this amazing, amazing theme song, y'all.
Yeah, I'm an ass man.
Sing along if you know it.
Salute to Billy Gunn.
Yes, we do.
I got it right here.
Okay.
The kids are a little strange, but they're all right for now.
Yes, I do. I do. Of course. Yeah, we are.
Yo.
Much love.
Hot take, this could replace Journey in the club with all the folks that look like me if you just wanted to slip it in there. You know what I'm saying?
Pause.
Yo, pause.
Introduce the drop. There we go.
Let's let this run underneath.
So I'm going to go off of Dave Meltzer in his list, his most recent 2022 list of 10 best Billy Gunn matches. We can talk about them. We can joke about them. Some of y'all watched them. I have actually viewed some of them, like amongst this topic and also in real time. Like number 10, the Bingo Hall Brawl, Slammiversary 2006. It was the former New Age Outlaws, Billy Gunn and Road Dogg versus Team 3D in a Bingo Hall Brawl in which they lost. But it was a real hardcore match because that was around the time that Billy Gunn was joining Road Dogg in his anti-Vince McMahon run. I don't know if y'all remember that one, but they were giving out a whole lot of shoots, putting a whole lot of dirt out there. I remember that time when they was coming into TNA. I didn't really want them there just because I knew they were going to do this bullshit, and then they did. So there was that. That was number 10. Number 9, DX versus the Nation of Domination. Raw, June 1st, 1998. That match saw Billy Gunn's team pick up the victory in an elimination match and received high praise from the fans. Y'all remember that match? Y'all tapped in?
I remember the feud. I don't exactly remember the match.
D'Lo Brown, Kama Mustafa, Owen Hart defeated Billy Gunn, Road Dogg, and Triple H at the 1998 Over the Edge pay-per-view.
Damn, he said Kama Mustafa. That's my boy.
Right. What an interchangeable group of names. Well, not really. I guess Kama Mustafa. DX got the rematch against Nation of Domination the following night on Raw and picked up the victory. So that ranks in number 9. So if you remember that one. Number 8, New Age Outlaws versus Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie, WrestleMania 14. Y'all remember that one?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. I actually had to watch that one because I only knew it from the clip of the dumpster. That's how
Terry
I grew
Funk
up
with the sock over his face. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's how, isn't that how New Age Outlaws formed, right? That was right around when before they even had the name. I think they were linking up, and that's when they pushed dude off the stage.
Yeah, I think
so. This is one of those strange bedfellow tag team matches at WrestleMania, essentially.
No, I think by the time the Mania match happened, they were solidified. But I think it was strange bedfellows and them getting together in the first place. before they joined DX and before they were named New Age Outlaws, it was just why are these two together? Because they ain't got nothing else going on.
Nigga said, why are these two together?
It was
the interchangeable tag team names we dropped.
Think about what they were coming out of. It was the Roadie and Rockabilly.
Damn, bro.
Yep.
You know what's funny? When we talk about things like this, it's like you got to apply it to almost like modern era like shit, and it's like, wow, you're right. They came from those, so it's like,
bro,
you got to think.
Until you could explain to me what the fuck Gravity is, I don't want to hear it. Ask me, it's all right.
Yo, you never know. 4 years from now, Gravity could be the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, son.
Yeah, bro. God bless.
I just know that he's supposed to be Bandito's brother. That's all I know.
That too.
Yeah.
Number 7, the Smoking Guns versus Owen Hart and Yokozuna. Boog, this is your era. Raw, September 25th, 1995.
Bart Gunn.
Yeah, this was it. You know what I'm saying? They won their first tag team championships at this time. After they lost the titles to Yokozuna and Owen Hart at WrestleMania 11, they continued to chase the title until September. They defeated them then, and Meltzer gave it a 3.25. Number 6, holy shit. Ahmed Johnson and Shawn Michaels versus the Smoking Guns. Raw, July 22nd, 1996. Wow. Anyone remember that one?
On a Raw? Absolutely not.
Nah, definitely not.
Hell no.
Nah.
Absolutely not. I don't remember that.
Nigga, I don't remember Raw from 2 weeks ago.
Yo, you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Got the rain falling on my window. I feel like Dido. My bad. My bad.
Yo, a fucking Dido.
Dido my bad, y'all. That rain fall in the window, man.
Nah, it got kind of crazy out here too.
Yeah.
Be all right.
Ahmed Johnson and Shawn Michaels versus the Smoking Guns. Raw, July 22nd.
What's this list? These are the best Billy Gunn matches?
Yeah,
sounds like the best
Dave
Ahmed
Meltzer.
Johnson matches.
As of December.
We just lost like 8 viewers. We had a bunch of viewers as soon as he said Ahmed Johnson twice. Everybody clicked
right on.
Yo, I couldn't believe it. Ahmed Johnson made a cameo on this list, yo. The first time that I think Ahmed Johnson might have even been mentioned on the Ringside Club.
And you mentioned him like 16 times.
Yo, I was an Ahmed fan, but this is out of
17. We got to put the Ahmed Johnson fucking ticker right now.
Yeah, take a shot every time somebody mentions Ahmed. 18.
The two teams put on a decent performance at the event, and the result saw Michaels and Johnson win by disqualification, but couldn't walk out as the new champions. So Ahmed Johnson and Shawn Michaels could not beat Billy and Bart Gunn. All right. The Smoking Guns versus Skip and Zip. Raw, May 27th, 1996. Boog, this is your era right now, bro.
Skip and Zip.
This is your era, son. You got to speak on it.
Dr. Tom Pritchard.
You can't put Skip and Zip on my body, bro. Pause. You can't do that.
The Body Donnas, man. They recently lost the tag titles and looking to get back in attention, and they took on
That's
the
the Cornette era, though.
Bart Gunn.
Chris Gandito and Dr. Tom Pritchard. Yikes.
Yep.
What a time.
Feast or Fired match. TNA Resolution 2008. Yes. I remember this one.
This is your era, because I don't remember this either. Who was it against?
Billy Gunn participated in the Feast or Fired match, which for some of you guys who aren't familiar with Impact Wrestling, a lot of the time they did a Feast or Fired match, which was a battle royal gauntlet style tournament type of shit where you either got briefcases that ended up containing a tag title, an X Division, or a world championship, or you got a briefcase that said you were fired. And the final moments of the match saw Curry Man, Hernandez, Homicide, and Jay Lethal pick up the 3 contracts to win the match. And essentially, Billy Gunn was just in that match for being in that match. So that was really no real reason on that one. 8-man tag match, Raw, January 10, 2000. This was Billy Gunn, Road Dogg, Triple H, and X-Pac to take on the team of Bradshaw, Farouk, Mankind, and The Rock. All right. Triple H picked up the victory after pinning him with a man with a pedigree. In Your House, non-sanctioned 8-man tag. And what the fuck else? The All-In, 0 Out. Yeah, this Meltzer list sucks. Sorry, Dave Meltzer. This ain't it, man. This list is not fucking it, yo. This list is fucking trash. Billy Gunn has got way more better matches. He's actually had a great feud in 1999. I remember that because that was the King of the Ring. He won that shit, right?
That's when they were experimenting with a solo Billy Gunn run.
With the solo run, he had the Intercontinental title.
Yep.
Which didn't even get a mention on this fucking list, which is crazy because he was the Intercontinental Champion, King of the Ring, and the Mr. Ass. Holy shit. That theme song, man.
I was out of control, but then it worked.
Outlandish activity on that theme song.
Hello. Hello.
Which went to the one, Billy Gunn, which was like mad mid.
Terrible.
Hella mid. Very 2001. With this which then led to Billy and Chuck. Holy shit.
Yo. I forgot. But that theme was fire. That theme was fire.
Oh, that was a fire theme song. I can't front.
That was fire.
Rico, Billy, and Chuck, they were very ahead of their time. I think if that was now, that would have been the biggest ratings draw. If it wasn't then, it would be.
Wasn't there NXT? What's the
Velveteen?
Nah, not him. The dude with the blonde hair.
Quincy Elliott?
Nah. Skinny dude, blonde hair. He looked like he had the young buck tights with the.
That's an
Pretty
NXT,
Deadly?
you said?
Who's Pretty Deadly? Yeah, he wasn't. He was. Now he's not current. He used to be.
Pretty Deadly? No. Tyler Bate? I don't know. You got to pick a white guy with long hair and just point him out.
It'll come to me. But yeah, it would have been something like that.
Pause. Yeah, definitely.
He came out with the selfie stick, and he would walk to the ring with the phone and all that.
Tyler Bate.
It's not Tyler Bate.
No, it's
That's
not
Tyler.
No,
Tyler
I'm
Breeze.
thinking Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze.
There was a point somewhere in there, but proceed.
Yes. Billy and Chuck with
Austin
Rico.
Theory had to get McMahon's egg for him. How's everybody doing tonight? We okay?
That was insane. That was a wild fucking time. Yes, you got Billy and Chuck era, and then he went to Impact, and this AEW run has probably been one of the best runs, you know what I'm saying, of his career, easily the most over. Reinvented himself like a motherfucker, daddy ass.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Scissor me daddy is crazy. Pause, but it works. It's selling merch.
What's crazy is like you look at Billy Gunn and you look at Sting, two dudes who I don't think anybody would have put any money down on them having a resurgence. And there could be arguments that this is up there with some of the best work that either of them have ever done at this point in their career. When you put this in the notes area, got on the Googles, Billy Gunn's gonna be 60 in November, which is insane to think about. He's been wrestling since 1989, right? So you think about how long he's been wrestling, how old he is as a human being, and the fact that he's in as good a shape as he's in. He's still moving around really well.
Started wrestling
he looks like somebody,
right now.
100%.
Like right now for us. Like if he just started wrestling technically.
Yeah. Like he looks
like an hour age
somebody,
bracket. He just got it popping, which is crazy.
I wouldn't doubt in my mind that he could go for another 10 years.
I
go until he's 70. Like he looks like he could go until he's 70. At least, judging right now.
Yeah, I just don't want to see Billy Gunn turn into Mike Jackson. Who was it? Mike Jackson is what they call him. The 73-year-old wrestler, the old guy that was.
Oh, the Impact dude.
Yes,
I mean, Flair. I don't want to see that. I think I was watching earlier. I had a little clip of our second episode, because the first one was horrendous, fucking technology. It turned heel. But the second one, we were talking about Ric Flair's last match. I don't want to see Billy Gunn go down that path. Because your man Ric Flair almost bled out in the middle of the ring on pay-per-view.
I think this is good that he just packed up the boots. He just left it. If it's kayfabe only, I'm cool with it. It's fine.
100%.
Even if it's real, I'm fine with it.
I think I think this is an angle, but I think this is probably his last major angle, and he's probably going to pack it up by the time he turns 60 anyway. You know what I'm saying?
He don't want to go out washed, yo. He's like, dude, how many? I really can't go out taking all these losses like this. This
100%.
is
and then think about some of the pill problems that he's had, Road Dogg has had, all these guys. For him to be able to still be relevant and healthy and looking good. Just think about how grateful he probably is because it could have gone left a couple of times. There's a few guys that we were just talking about Dark Side of the Ring and Bam Bam. There's so many stories like that versus people that got a chance to actually clean it up and get a second shot, third shot, fourth shot at whatever they were doing. Billy Gunn is one of those dudes. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't always on the best of terms with WWE, for instance, and he had to go and get his shit together. So,
too, I will say that I think it's good that the Acclaim cuts away from Billy Gunn. It's time for them to get back to their shit. Stop relying on this daddy ass scissor me thing, and time to get a direction and a plan.
I think that's what's happening. but that's fine. You know,
I agree.
I think he served. I think this was an accident. You know, to be completely honest, I think that shit getting over was nothing that anybody could have predicted. But then when they saw that it was working, they were smart enough to keep going with it. That whole scissor me daddy ass shit. And why not? You know what I'm saying? That took them a lot further than any of us would have put money down on.
Agreed.
Keep going with it.
Absolutely.
Highly agreed. I guess prepped and cooked this week. I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna keep it light. I'm gonna just go with. Unfortunately, the women's division AEW is gonna have to be put on slaughterhouse for here. Prepped for this week. Sky Blue. Shorty can't pick up a victory, but she's amazing to view. I love Sky Blue. Sky Blue fan club. We're here. You know what I'm saying? We rock with you, girl. You know what I'm saying?
You just said I love you, but goodbye. Like,
you know what I mean? We just want you to just like pick up some victories that matter. That's all. I just want to see Sky Blue, like, you know what I mean? Get some actual dubs under her belt. She's had a tough week. She keeps taking losses. She just lost to Taya Valkyrie. You know what I'm saying? On Collision. And then speaking of, my cooked, Taya Valkyrie. She is fucking cooked, fellas. I'm gonna just go ahead and say, I actually had high expectations for her coming into AEW. I know the rest of y'all probably can't. I thought she would have had a good run as a TNT champion or a TBS champion, but it ended up being that Taya Valkyrie can't pick up a W to save her life, and she's gonna end up being the veteran that Serena Deeb kind of played, which is the one that just gets the newer talent over, and she just kind of just collects that nice, beautiful check, which I respect to her. That's what she's doing, but if this was the case, she might as well just stayed in Impact and just like been the complete star that Deonna Purrazzo ended up becoming. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Ty Valkyrie's cooked to me. And, you know, I do this week by week, you know, when it comes to the prepped and cooked. So I can't say that this will be the case next week. Maybe Ty will pick up a W on a Dynamite match that she'll be thrusted into, pause. But that's it. Fellas, what you think? You agree? Disagree with my prep to cook this week? What y'all think?
How long do you think it takes AR Fox to be on this segment?
Boy, he was actually on the docket, but I was like, let me actually go ahead and put the woman here because I don't want to get into a debate about AR Fox because I actually like AR Fox. And I could hear AO being like, yo, how's he prepped and cooked already? He's only had one main match.
I was going to say something about that, but I was like, let's leave that for another.
He's only been a 6-man guy, so I'm going to just let that rock. You know what I'm saying? He's been a 6-man tag specialist. He's only had one real singles match, and it was really good. But now he's with the Mogul Embassy. And we see what that's done for Brian Cage and the other two interchangeable guys. So we'll see.
As far as your prepped and cook for Sky Blue, I'm not counting her out.
I agree yet. Yeah.
I'm not counting her out as yet. Because they've been pushing her pretty well from when she came in, and she's starting to fall off a little bit, but I'm still not counting her out. As far as Taya Valkyrie, I kind of agree with you, especially off that last match. Although that match with Britt was a decent amount of time, it was.
Fam, that promo on Collision was terrible. Like it's like this was an easy prepped and cooked when it came down to it because I just looked at the results and was like, oh yeah, I watched this. I know exactly what happened. That was a come and play with me, Britt. What the fuck was that? I was like, this is what the fuck, Taya? Like, come on.
I thought she was gonna skyrocket after that feud with Jade, man. But after that, it was kind of just went downhill from there.
Booger, yo, what y'all think, man?
I mean, yeah, I disagree with Sky. Sky's fine. Taya is one of those cases to me where I don't know how long she's had, like how long her career has been, because like there could be, I don't know if there's injuries, if there's hip issues.
Yo, she hasn't been injured. She's just been a journey woman. She's been in every promotion.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it could be to me maybe just a wear and tear type of thing, because like she moves awkwardly sometimes to me. You know what I mean? That could be like a wear and tear thing. I mean, promo wise, that was horrendous. So, you know, you either have a good promo, you can speak well, or you don't, and that was no good. I saw that shit too.
I was really going to throw Hobbs up in here, but I didn't want to have AO go crazy on me.
Boog, before you,
I ain't arguing today.
Boog, before you say something, Taya Valkyrie, she debuted in 2010, and she's 39. I did not know she was that old.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
it could be to me like wear and tear, because like this
yeah.
sometimes there's just like an awkwardness to the way that she specifically like hips and down moves. Like it's not as smooth as I remember her being, or maybe I think I remember her being.
A lot of
But I
hardcore
mean,
matches, a lot of men's matches,
yeah,
a
she's
lot of
had like
like
a lot of rough matches
a lot of
under her
those.
belt.
Especially this last one. I thought this one was a little rough as well with Britt Baker.
But I mean, a lot of that, there's a whole conversation to be had about Britt Baker. Britt Baker got over on personality, not in ring, and she's never really been great. She's good, borderline sometimes. It really depends on who she's in the ring with. And a lot of times, if she's in the ring with somebody better, the person is,
It's gonna make her look better, basically.
100%. And with Taya, again, like I think, but again, like Taya gave, in my opinion, Jade one of her best matches. You know what I mean? One of her best, probably 10 matches that I've seen, came with Taya Valkyrie. So I think, look, the way I could sum Taya up is like, again, somebody has to lose. In order for somebody to go over, you have to have somebody credible to beat. And Taya Valkyrie is credible enough to take losses and make the other person come out better on the other side. If
She's
that
the
match-
Miz.
Right. That's fair. Only if that match and that feud goes over well. I think the Jade thing started off shaky as hell, and I think it ended on a good note. And then Jade moved on. But I think the Britt Baker thing, and we'll see where it goes and what happens next for Taya, that just didn't look all that smooth. It didn't look good. So, bottom line, it's been hit or miss, for sure.
Yeah.
Bug.
Yeah, I'm not really. I don't know. It's difficult to do the prepped and cooked thing for me, I guess, just because I do.
It's
feel
off the.
like,
It's only off the week. That's it.
Yeah, there's so
With the
many,
totality of your wins and losses too.
Yeah, there's so many wrestlers that are like either booked strangely or for whatever reason they're not hitting their mark on the entertainment level. So when I'm looking at this, I think I would almost go from the entertainment level versus the actual wrestling. So Sky Blue, I mean, I'm not going to name the site that I watch my wrestling on, but on that site in the chat forum, every incel in 100-mile radius is talking about Sky Blue in the chat. So you could deduce
She's a fan
why.
favorite. So I say she's prepped. She ain't cooked yet.
You could deduce why. But as far as like everything goes with like cooked, I don't know. You picked who now?
Taya Valkyrie,
Taya
the former
Valkyrie.
Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion.
I couldn't disagree only because of, like you said, if you work at Costco and you work at Staples and then you work at the local print shop and then you work at this other print shop, it's like, do you just really like print shops, or why are we working at all these different print shops? Like, what's going on? So I don't have an issue with it. The journeywoman thing, the journeyman thing, that's cool. I don't mind it. And I'm not trying to even hate. I'm just trying to literally pull out of thin air and figure it out. I think she has a rich history in lucha, if I'm not mistaken, and she fought a lot down there doing different things.
A lot of men too.
Yeah. So like she just might not be my bag, which is 100% fine. But as far as that goes, I'm not really a big fan of anything at all that's cringeworthy when it comes to the delivery of information. And whether it's, rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero, whether it's Vicky Guerrero, or whatever it is, it's just like, I can't deal with that energy sometimes. And so for me, it's not that they're analogous. They're not the same type personality, but there's something missing there. And I'll say there's something missing there from a lot of those folk, but I do see specifically, I don't connect with her, so it wouldn't necessarily be a weak thing for me. It would just be she's not my favorite wrestler. But if I had to pick somebody that was cooked for the week, I would say, at least for right now, every Orange Cassidy opponent. I mean, they're
stat padding at this point. That's all.
Yeah, like this is like there's no. And speaking of Jade Cargill, because we did mention Jade Cargill, if you could name 5 or more of Jade Cargill's opponents, I'll give you $100. If you could name more than 5 of her opponents in her run, I'll give you $100, no question. Because there's no way you
Kiera
can do it.
Hogan, Red Velvet, Chris Statlander, fucking Taya Valkyrie, and Nyla Rose.
Well, more than 5. I don't know anybody else besides that.
Guys, fucking gold. Yo, you with the fucking Tony Khan booking with the stat pad. Now your goalpost moving, man.
Nah, but
I mean,
but realistically,
you also introduced an eliminator for the fucking predictions title.
You did, and I still.
I'm waiting for my rematch. Niggas is holding on to belts over here. Nobody want to defend their shit. It's crazy.
Right. But I did say I was going to defend it this weekend at Collision, so run that card, and I got it.
Oh, all right. Say that then, King. I'm on deck. I'm on deck.
But no, I find it difficult to do the prepped and cooked thing just because I really do believe that just like any restaurant you go to, you know, the chef might have an off night or an off meal. You know, it kind of is what it is. We get to score this shit because we're seeing these people on a public forum. But that is why the professionals. It's the same reason why we're able to do this with NBA players. So I don't feel bad for them. I think that we gotta leave Sky Blue alone. You might got something with Taya Valkyrie. I'm not sure.
We went on a really good. This is pretty much an AEW ass show. I mean, do y'all want to end it, or do y'all want to just run?
We probably got an exit survey. We've been here for a year, so let's see what we got. What's
cool with hitting the
what's our exit survey?
All right, let's pull it up. But before we get out of here, once again, I appreciate you three gentlemen rocking out.
My God, it's all love, man. Love, King. Did this.
I appreciate all of the people tuning in. Peace to Lauriana May for stopping through. Check out that new single, LMK, Let Me Know. Peace to Pete Rosado. I saw a lot of people sharing across socials earlier on the tweets.
Appreciate y'all, man. Tapping in the tweets.
Yeah, man, we here. You know, a year feels like a pretty long time, but in the grand scheme of things, we just getting started, you heard? So that being said, the outro survey before we all get out of here and do our own thing, I'm going to fuck the bed. Will Ricky Starks win a sanctioned, I see you put that in there, specifically a sanctioned title within the rest of 2023? Will Ricky Starks win a championship 2023? It's a good question.
I got an answer if nobody else does.
It's a good question. I don't know. I'm definitely on the fence, but for the sake of time, I'm gonna say yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes with this new heel turn thing that he's doing or whatever it is. Yeah, I can see him.
I'll say yeah. It's July. He'll win either the TNT or the International before the end of the year.
He ain't gonna win it clean though.
I'm gonna stop the music real quick and say you're both bugging and say fuck no.
All right. Quill
Blame Boogie, the number one non-Ricky Starks fan.
I'm gonna just go ahead and just join my tag team partner and blame Boogie and just say double fuck out of here. He's gonna keep holding unsanctioned belts.
Yo, you got a better chance of him being the Impact X Division World Champion than him running nothing at anything in AEW. You kidding me? That roster is stacked right now.
Plenty high caliber feuds this year.
Yeah.
But he will not see an actual title belt this year.
Yeah.
I call it.
All right.
The RSC.
He'll be fighting Gravity next week on fucking the resurgence of Dark Elevation, and then we'll revisit
Ricky
this
Starks
Yo,
versus
Ricky
Gravity.
Starks versus Gravity on Collision next week is fucking hysterical, son. Holy shit. It's a lot more than what Hobbs is doing, but that's for another topic. Tag team week next week, y'all.
Word up. Tag team wrestling next week. We out of here. It's the Ringside Club. Bye.
Yo, almighty. 1 year. Cheers.
Peace, y'all.